Hello, welcome to the Bride Guide 101 with Gemma and Jay, brought to you from the wedding rooms in Kidderminster. Now, there's a reason I'm in a wedding dress.
Because she loves it.
Yeah, obviously. I don't just walk around on this day to day.
Yeah, you do.
Although I'm pretty close sometimes. We thought we'd try and show a few veils today.
Can I just point out as well, she's on a step.
I just said to Jem, I love being the same
No,
height as them.
I don't like it.
Only Jem! No, it's me. We thought we'd look at some veils for you today. Now, veils are a great way to add a little bit of drama to your wedding dress or a little bit of sparkle. And I think traditionally we looked it up. It was something to do with, go on Jem.
Oh no, I've forgotten what it was now.
It was basically, you'd put layers.
You'd wrap the bride up to...
ward off evil spirits.
Yeah.
It's a sign of her virtue.
You know what I mean.
Her maidenness. So the idea, that was the tradition behind a veil. But obviously, nowadays, times have changed.
Just for the wow factor.
We don't need to ward off any evil spirits.
Yeah.
We've got this covered, ladies. So I think we've got some longer ones, some short ones, different details on the dresses. And also we'll mention about combs as well, the way they're attached to the dresses. But our tip for anybody looking for a veil is think about your hair.
No, I think tip number one is try one on.
No, well, that as well. No, mine first. I never had a veil. Now, every lady that's come to this shop knows this story. And it's the reason both of us put a veil on.
Yeah.
I said, I don't want a veil. And she didn't put a veil on me. Now, I don't know if I came across like firm and scary at the same time. I'd have been like, put one on. I love a veil now. And if I ever renewed my vows to the same person, I would wear a veil completely. And I think you get a ceremony look if your dress is quite plain and relaxed.
I think even if you think I'm definitely not going to wear a veil, just put one on.
Yeah.
You've lost nothing. But I would say a good 20% of women that think they're not going to have one, put it on. They're like, oh, actually, I do quite like it. It's a very it's not, people think it's really sort of old-fashioned, and it's not. You know, 85% of brides, I would say, have a veil.
And I think because there's so many different veils now, we think about veils, you know, really structured and heavy and over your face. Well, no one wants that, I think. I wouldn't want it over my face. But I think, you know, even a single tier, you have a lot relaxedness to it, and
it just changes the look, doesn't it? And especially if you're going for a bit more of a relaxed dress, because maybe you're, you know, wanting that sort of look for the day. But actually, when you're walking down the aisle and you want that wow factor, it gives you that extra statement, doesn't it?
Completely.
So we'll show you some different ones and try and sort of break any bridal speak on veils so you can see what's what. So ladies, this is number one. So this is 126 inch, and it's what we call a 2-tier, and it's a half comb. So I'm just going to show you at the top. So half comb is what we're talking about, is this ruching here. So you can either have a flat comb, which is no ruching. You have a half comb, which is this amount of ruching, or you can have a full one, which is a lot of ruching. So if you're going sort of full, I would say princess sort of look, you would probably have a full. We don't really sell fulls, do we?
No, I think the half comb's enough for most looks, I'd say.
So, and then the 2-tier section is this part here, look. So you've got this second tier here, which is traditionally what you put over the bride's head, but a lot just use it because it gives it a bit more of a wow factor. So you don't have to have it over the top. And then the 126 inch is the length look. So this one is a gorgeous one with all this sort of lace detail around the end. So 126 inch just tends to come just past most trains, because this is quite a long train actually, isn't it, on this dress? But that's
I love this one.
This one of your faves, isn't it?
It is. It's one of recently, and I just wear it a lot.
But that's your 126 full length 2-tier half comb. So here's our second veil. So I've kept with a longer theme. This one's a little bit shorter than the train, but this is what we call a single tier. So you haven't got that top layer at the top. So you've got nothing that traditionally you would pull over. It's still a half comb. So this one's got gorgeous little pearls all the way over it. But you can see as it comes down, look, there's no second layer, so it just goes straight down.
I feel people, when they have a single tier, they don't feel like they're wearing a veil as much because you haven't got that extra sort of oomph here. And what you've got to remember as well, it depends where you wear it. So obviously we've put it as if Jade's got a low bun. So a top tip is when you're going for your accessory appointment to try on veils, is try and wear your hair roughly how would you want to wear it. But obviously if you want to see more of the veil from the front yourself... Sorry, Jade. Oh no, I'm caught on the dress! Oh, there we go. We got it, we're fine. So you would go higher up. So traditionally they'd probably be worn a little bit more higher up like that, look. So you can see how it's going to fall more over Jade's shoulders. And like more around my face.
Yeah, around her face. So much more traditional look. and then you've got it just coming all the way down, and it's almost like complements the dress and sort of frames the dress, I would say.
Yeah.
Now this is a funny one because like basically I wouldn't suggest this length for this size skirt for this, because if you think it ends here and then you've got this sort of weird point where there's nothing after, so for me you either go to the end of the train or further. I think that sort of halfway point,
yeah,
you'd want it a little bit longer, wouldn't you?
I think so.
But that's your single tier, half comb, fuller, so you've got a little bit of sparkle. So next we have a single tier, but this is with a flat comb. So we've gone for an ultra plain, really simple one so you can see. So this is quite good if you're having more of a boho sort of look and you want to be able to see exactly through the dress. Now this is what they call a super soft. What I mean by that is it just flows really gently. It's not stiff at all. So it's just going to sort of fit into the dress as if it's part of the dress.
I feel like it's a photographer's dream.
Yeah, because you know when you throw it up and you're like,
yeah.
oh, I'm underneath my veil. Is that just my head?
I like the voice.
This is your flat comb. So if you see there's no ruching. Now, you've got to think about your hair with this because obviously you can see a bit more. So you probably go underneath some sort of bun, I would. So you'd have your bun on top and this underneath. You wouldn't have this very high, I don't think. Or if you did want it high, maybe incorporate some sort of accessory across. So a little bit like... So like that sort of look, but put that over the top so it almost covers that band. So you'd have just like that. Imagine that's over the top and that's underneath into your hair, just so you're not seeing so much of it. But this is your longer, and this is like for me that I'm wearing actually a very long veil, but it doesn't look so much.
And it doesn't feel heavy, or sometimes with the long ones you have to, they will feel heavier because there's more fabric, especially with lace.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I don't feel like I'm wearing a veil at all.
It's a bit more modern, isn't it? I would say the flat comb. A lot of ladies do like this sort of look. The more ruching is perhaps a bit more traditional. If you're going for not such a traditional dress, this is a really, really good option. So here is a shorter veil. This is a 72 inch. This is like a little bit longer than your fingertip, but it's a 2-tier. So you just have a look now. So you've got your half ruching again, so across the top. You've got your second tier. Now this is where perhaps you couldn't see it so clearly on the other 2 tiers, because on this tier you've got the detail which you've got round both sets of hems. So it's a little bit more, I don't know if you can see that. Bit more going on. So when you aren't sure, if you want a bit more detail towards the top, let's say your dress is a little bit plainer and you want a little bit more sparkle, this is what you can do. Look, 'cause then you're going to have all this detail on that layer and that layer. Now for me, I don't know why, but I personally like either this length or the full length.
Yeah.
I don't really like anything in between. I feel like it's either this one, which just starts to kick out then from your dress at the knee. I mean, probably a little bit less on some people because you're quite short.
Ow. I'm not going to let that go because I'm in a veil and a red dress. So I'm in a very good mood.
You'll know, when you try different veils on, you'll know whether it suits your dress or not, I think.
And I think you'll know if it makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think, this one, you're going to have your more detail around your face. So possibly with it, if I just turn around a little bit to the front, you'll see that it's coming into the dress. So obviously it depends a lot on your neckline with dresses. They've got the detail more.
Well, yeah, because if
well.
I mean, like that one, you can either match that detail in, can't you? So you go sparkle on sparkle, or you don't want to compete with it, so you wouldn't. So that's your 2-tier, 72 inch, a little bit shorter, half comb. So you've got a bit of ruching at the top again. So this is your short veil. I mean, they do come shorter than this, but we don't tend to sell them much shorter than this. This is your 54 inch. So it's much, much shorter look. So it ends about there. That's it. So it's just at your fingertip sort of length. It's more of a token veil. I don't want to call it a token veil, but you're not going for a massive wow factor with this. You're just wearing a veil. Makes it look a bit pretty. It's a little bit of a different look.
And sometimes with veils, it makes people feel more bridal.
Yeah.
Especially if your dress isn't that bridal, it's more relaxed. Sometimes that veil can elevate it for your ceremony. And it's when mum usually cries as well.
Yeah.
It's when the veil goes on, you're like, oh, the emotion
But
there.
if you want to make a shorter one look a little bit more effective, if you go a little bit higher with it, then obviously it's going to look... Let me just pull that up. There you go, look. So you're going for that sort of look. Just
and again, it comes round your face a little bit more.
So I think you've got a little bit more. If it was shorter, I'd perhaps go a little bit higher so I could see it. Otherwise, you're going to get more of just a bunch at the bottom, aren't you, and not have the sort of veil look. So a little bit higher, but I can still completely see through the dress. That's really pretty, actually. So next we've got a 72 inch single tier. So obviously you've got no second layer look that you'd put over the top. It's same sort of length. So this one's quite clear. You haven't got any detail because you can have all sparkle and all sorts on these. And then on the edge, this one's just got your little bit of beading and a scalloped edge all the way down. So it just brings a little bit of crystal
A little bit of sparkle.
A little bit of sparkle. I like this one again because it's like, it almost looks plain, but then you've got a little bit of sparkle going on. And again, because you haven't got the second tier, I can see a little bit more of the dress. It's a bit more see-through. Because if you've got a gorgeous back, you don't want to be covering it up with a really thick veil either.
I like this one because it's really light again. You've got that nice length. And I think, like Gemma said, it's either really long or shorter. But we are going to put a shorter one next to see a difference. Yeah,
more of a token veil, I would say. So you've got the look, but you haven't got any of the heaviness. So this gorgeous veil is one from our bespoke handmade veils. So this full length. Now, the great thing with these, and you can with the other ones as well, but you can have the exact length that you want. So you see how long that is. So if you want a bit more of a dramatic and you want it way past your train, you've got a much more dramatic sort of look. And obviously these can be single, double tier, half comb, whatever you want. This is a single. So you've got your full sort of look going past, but this is really your wow. So if you've got a long aisle to walk down, this can really show it off.
Those photographs, you know, if you're in your venue at top of the stairs and you're stood there, you're having some really nice photographs, and I feel like your veil's like a piece to that, so that can tick.
Yeah, and you've got your little lace appliques going all the way around. I'll just show you some of those.
And I think as well, if you are adamant you're having a lace dress, or as we find with ladies, they're like, I love lace, and they put it on, nothing's quite hitting the spot. There's so many times we've had a plainer dress like this, but then they love the dress, like, oh, I haven't got my lace. You have your lace with your veil.
Yeah, you can completely make it all the lace. I mean, this is quite a toned down lace one, but you can have much more lace on it, can't you? So just remember, you know, if you don't want the length that is your standard length, have whatever length you like. So this is our little bit of fun veil. Now, I wouldn't necessarily put it with this dress if I'm honest, because this is a bit of a quirky veil, but this is your single tier and it's polka dot.
We like the polka dot.
I know, look how cool that is. But this is sort of a full length. Again, I go a little bit longer with this dress because it ends, oh God, I can't really see where it ends. Just about there. So I'd want it a little bit longer. But you've got a full polka dot, a little bit different, a little bit quirky. And I think if you're going for that sort of boho look and you've got a plain dress and you really want to dress it up, you could perhaps have some pearls, like a pearl crown or some flowers or something in your hair. I'm going with it. Get my leather jacket on. But yeah, just something really different. Or you can have it shorter, perhaps with a T-length, I think would look quite nice as well.
Yeah, quite cute.
But just something a little bit different. So you don't have to go for more of a traditional. You can put a right modern twist on it. Ooh, a right modern twist.